Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have another roster review. We're back with the roster reviews. I'm starting to do more than one a month, so these will start to move a little bit faster. Today we have a bit of a treat. This roster review is a little bit different than the others, being that I really can't critique any of the thing in the roster. It's really going to be focused in on some GAC strategy, and even then, it's not much. One thing I do want to show that's kind of cool, and Kanak is kind of like my counterpart in GAC. It's been said before that I don't have a passion project, that I just go after winning. That's my philosophy. Go hard on the meta and destroy the rest. Kanak actually has the opposite philosophy, and you can see this in his roster. He goes through what he wants to go after, and then he really makes it work in GAC, regardless of his opponent. Like you can see here, he has one of the fastest Paplus in the entire game. Like, he doesn't even have a speed set. It comes to about 279, and after you apply that to the 25% speed bonus, he's going over, I think, 330 speed. Just a ridiculous. Like, you can see these valuable 6E mods, 6B, 6C, he's putting them onto his Paplu. Just, wow, these are actually really good mods. Because it works for him, and you can say, well, yeah, I've seen people who go after Ewoks too, or Jawas or whatever, but look at his score in Grand Arena. He is currently over 500,000 lifetime points. That's a big deal. That is a much higher than above average player. So he's a good player. I really can't critique his mods too much. If we were to look into them, the only thing that you would see would be a big difference between his B teams. Generally have better mods than his A teams, but they're still all good all around. The one thing I do want to critique, especially for going forward in GAC, is Kanak has a similar execution strategy to me in the sense that he goes heavy offense. But one of the things that I've noticed is he's been using a lot Embo lead on defense, which is cool. However, it's not holding up anymore. I don't know if this was something that was holding up a lot maybe 6 months ago or maybe a year ago, because the idea behind Embo's lead is that they constantly counter, and it's to strip banners. But today, the rosters have advanced so much, and with new characters and reworks, etc., that there are a lot of people undersizing this for really, really high banners. So it's on defense, and I think we can actually pull it on offense because we have a pretty good Django here, and we have a pretty good Boba here as well. And the only thing that might be necessary would be to put the Zeta on Bosk, because what I think we could use it for is we could use it against Night Sisters. Because right now, Kanak is, at least from his last 5v5 history, he's currently using a lot of Jedi against Night Sisters. And it's really not necessary, especially if they're gear 12. If gear 13, then maybe, yeah. And he could easily be using his bounty hunters there, and then he could use the Jedi against the other teams that his CLS is going against. Kanak has a really, really good CLS. You can see that pretty clearly in here now. He's got an R6 Han, R6 Chewbacca, R4 Commander Luke Skywalker. They're modded very well. And that being said, you've been taking this team on offense a lot, and you've been kind of just like smashing like maybe a Phasma team, maybe a Bosk team, and CLS can punch up way higher than that. And I think it's just easier if you don't want to figure out what that exact number is, throw it on defense and let it be your opponent's problem. So ultimately, that's going to be my main suggestion. There's really not a lot I can say. Like I said, there are some really cool relics in here. Where's Ayla? I think that's my favorite relic. Yes, just a really, really cool character. Again, a lot of his best mods are over here. A ridiculous amount of health, ridiculous amount of crit chance, almost well into 100% with the crit damage. Primary there. Good Cantos Order, good Visas Mar. Just an impressive roster overall. Very different, but impressive nonetheless. But yeah, that's going to be my main suggestion, Kanak, for your roster. Keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. But at the end of the day, I think you need to be going a little bit heavier defense. Because right now, what's happening in Kanak's defense is he's putting his Relic 7 Ewoks on defense. People are underestimating them. They're throwing Vader or CLS or Night Sisters, and they're losing, and that battle enough is really enough to launch Kanak into most wins. But I think having maybe CLS in the backle after this would be even better, because they'll run out of teams by the time they get there. For example, one of the battles I saw in the last 5v5, someone used their Vader, and it failed against the Ewoks. They they preloaded them and they had used DR to wipe it out. So imagine getting to the back wall and you don't have Darth Revan or Darth Revan or your own Vader to be able to take down their CLS. So that might just be something to look worth looking into, and maybe just bumping your bounty hunters a little bit up to be able to take care of those Night Sister teams. Also, there's a pretty good chance that we're about to get a bounty hunter legendary for the first time. So that's really darn cool. So maybe overall things to think about. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. Until the next one, stay awesome.